Hi everyone, John here. Today I'll be doing an unboxing video of the Barbie Look Sweet Tea doll. She currently retails for about $45 in Australia, but I did manage to get this one on sale last week for about $30. This is actually my second purchase of the Barbie Look Sweet Tea doll. My first one had a huge range of quality control issues, including having melting marks on her hip joints, her hair not being properly rooted, her bangs were cut unevenly, her face-up was very asymmetrical, and the fact that her clothing was not constructed properly. As you can see with this one, I did remove the bangs, I did style her hair to cover up most of the bald spots, and I did edit her face-up to look a bit more even. Despite my issues with my first Sweet Tea doll, I did decide to get a second one because the price was right, and that I realized she does have a lot of parts that I could use for other doll projects. She uses the Karl Lagerfeld sculpt, which I believe has not been used for any other Black Label Barbie dolls so far. Her body is a modified version of the pivotal Barbie body, which I haven't had many versions of. And that her clothing does look really nice on a mod era doll as well, so even though I'm not very happy with my first one, hopefully my second one leaves me much more happy. As you can see, the doll's box is very open, it is very clear, and you do see what you're getting. You can see the accessories nicely laid out, you can see the doll shows off her articulation pretty well, and that you can see that she comes with a stand and a lot of really cute photos and stuff as well. On the back of the box shows a small blurb about how it ties in with the Barbie Instagram account that is currently really popular. It also shows other dolls that's available in the series, but all the Australian retails that I've been to has never been able to stock the black one, so it's disappointing, but that's what I've come to expect when living in Australia. Okay, now let's get this doll open. As you can see, the box does slide out very nicely, and it includes a certificate of authenticity from Mattel, showing that this is an official Mattel product. If you can see, the doll is held in with a lot of plastic, but it is a lot better than a lot of past Mattel products where they have held her in with metal ties and other items. Items. Usually there would be a lot more elastics holding in a Mattel doll, but I guess for this one, it is just a lot of plastic holding her in, so if you have a good pair of scissors, it should be simple enough to remove her from the box.
As you can see though,
it is a bit of a struggle getting this doll out, because you can see that her shoes aren't very well designed to keeping onto her feet without elastic ties on. And I just lost a huge chunk of doll hair in the box. Whoop. On a very surprising note, this doll uses the pivotal Barbie upper arms, while this Sweet Tea doll uses the upper arms from the fashionista body. Meaning that there's already a lot more articulation available than what you would have gotten if you gotten the first wave of it. As you can see, her accessories are kind of sewn onto each other, so you do have to have very fine scissors to free it all from each other. Jewelry is really well sculpted and they're very nicely done on her. And I'm very surprised, but this doll is much more fully rooted. Her bangs are actually a lot more even, and Even though there is a lot of product in her hair, I am happy to just wash it out and be done with that. And there's a lot of hair falling out. Oh wow. That's a lot of hair. Oof. Surprisingly, her hips aren't actually glued down to each other, so that's a huge plus for me. She still doesn't have the torso articulation from the Pivotal Barbie dolls, but I'm actually quite surprised that this doll is better made than my first one that I've gotten. Now with like collector dolls, I find it's really surprising, but they use the old style Barbie prongs. With the Playline Barbie dolls, they usually have a really long plastic bit that sticks up from the head. So seeing that this doll has just the old style Barbie prongs is really surprising for me. Okay. To usually help with head swapping, I do get a pair of nail clippers and just cut off the prongs here. As you can see. Usually I do try to cut it off until it's like flat with the top of it, just so it'll be easier to head swap in the future for me. And yeah. Her clothes are much better made than the first one that I've gotten. All the snaps do feel like they're more securely sewn on and that it is more evenly cut and created. Underneath the clothes of this doll, I'm actually really quite surprised that there isn't any glue residue on the inside of her hip joints, or that I have to do any more carving from the upper arms. Her torso uses this modified Pivotal Barbie sculpt, where the original sculpt has a bust joint here, but as you can see, she doesn't have it. Sadly though, her face screening is very uneven. This eye is a bit bigger than this eye, but since I am going to repaint her, it isn't an issue for me. But if you do have a chance to buy this doll in person, make sure you find one with the most even eye screening if you can't repaint for any reason. My final thoughts on this Barbie Look Sweet Tea doll is that I'm really surprised that there seems to be a different wave of them now, because there was a lot more different factory changes that weren't advertised or told by anyone. The fact that she uses a different arm sculpt than her, and that while I am disappointed that her face screening is very uneven, that isn't a huge deal breaker for me right now. And I'm very happy with the fact that even though I lost a huge chunk of doll hair, her hair is more thickly rooted, her hips aren't glued together, and that her clothes aren't falling apart already. I am hoping that Mattel does release more collector dolls in Australia, but considering that this doll is a huge improvement over my first Sweet Tea doll, I am very happy right now. If you did like my video, please like or subscribe to my channel and give me a couple comments on how I can improve or what you'd like to see next. I've included a couple links to my blog and my Flickr account down below, and I hope to see you later.